So we're going to move on in our book. I am going to share my screen. Okay, guys, so we're going to move on from photosynthesis, respiration, plant parts and stuff, and we're going to learn about some fun plant adaptations from your book, as well as online. So I have two plants here. Does anyone notice anything interesting about these plants? We have a rose on the left. Yes, Cherry?
The second one is a cactus.
The second one is a cactus? Okay. Anything else?
They can live in the desert.
In the desert. Thank you. Yeah, so the one on the right is actually not a cactus. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of a cactus because it has all those needles or those thorns on it. But we'll see what it is soon. Anyone else? Lisa, what do you notice about these plants?
They have leaves.
They have leaves?
Needles.
Oh, needles. Yeah, they have needles. Do you know what these are called? Do you know what these are called?
Thorns.
Yeah, thorns. Good job. Yeah, so Lisa told us these are thorns. And I would say these guys are more like needles. They're a little bit different. Okay? Does anyone have any other facts they would like to share about these plants? Anything else? What parts of the plant do you see on the left? What parts of the plant? Are there any leaves? Are there any roots? Let's call on Katie. Can you tell me where the thorns are located on this plant?
On the stem.
On the stem, yeah, the thorns are located on the stem. And so are these. These are also located on the stem. They're not on the leaves. So that's interesting. So both of these plants, even though they're different, they're coming from the stem. This is an up-close image of the rose. So who here, raise your hand if you have had a rose. Have you touched a rose? Lisa, was there thorns on this rose?
Yes.
There were? Okay. Courage. Have you ever held a rose?
Yes.
Were there thorns on it or no thorns?
Small thorns.
Small thorns? Yeah, so when we give out thorns for like Valentine's Day or to someone, we usually take the thorns off because the thorns would hurt. So when you get a rose, sometimes there's thorns, especially if it's outside. But when you get it as a present, they take the thorns off. And these here aren't only needles. They actually contain poison inside. Poison inside. If you were to go past this plant and get the poison on you, it would start itching and really, really hurt. And these are some plant defenses. They defend the plant. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Will this rabbit have trouble eating this plant? You guys think this rabbit will have trouble eating this plant? I want you guys to answer yes or answer no. And I'm going to unmute everyone in 3, 2, 1, go.
No.
No.
Okay, so the rabbit will not have trouble eating this plant. Okay. Let's have Viet. What do you think is going to happen to this rabbit if it eats the plant? Do you think the rabbit's going to eat this plant?
No.
Why not?
Because it has spikes.
Yeah, it has spikes. Some animals can eat spikes. They're very good at it, but I don't know if a rabbit is good at it. Harry, what do you think is going to happen?
the rabbit will be hurt.
The rabbit might get hurt. Okay. Yeah, let's find out, guys. I'm going to click on it and we're going to find out. Oh, ouch. That doesn't look like it feels good. Ronaldo, what happened to the rabbit?
The rabbit is hurt.
Yeah, the rabbit is hurt. Do you think he's going to eat this plant again?
No.
No. He'd be silly if he ate it again. So yeah, so this is like a plant defense. Why do you guys think these plants have defenses? Why do they have thorns? Why do they have needles? Anmin,
Yes, teacher.
why do you think these plants have defenses? What are they doing? Why do you think they have these needles and thorns and stuff like that?
I think because if the flower don't have a thorn, I think they will die.
Yeah. So if the flowers and leaves don't have thorns, they might die. Lisa, what might kill the leaves? What are killing the leaves?
Bug.
Yeah, in here there's bugs, but rabbits, deer, everything wants to eat leaves. We eat leaves. We eat lettuce and stuff. Imagine just being a plant standing there and everyone wants to eat you. Yeah, so it's so they don't get eaten. David, do you think a plant can reproduce if it gets eaten?
No. They
No.
skip to death.
Yeah, they go straight to death. How can a plant flower if there's no leaves? And last question on this page. Aisha, can you hear me? So we're looking at the leaf in the picture. What's this leaf's function for the plant? Do you remember what this leaf does for the plant?
No.
No, we learned about it last class. It starts with photo.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, photosynthesis. Do you think this leaf is very good at photosynthesis anymore?
No.
No. These bugs ate everything. How is it going to use photosynthesis? And if the leaf can't photosynthesize, the plant won't get any food. So these insects are stopping them from doing photosynthesis. Okay. And the one thing I want you guys to remember, what do you guys notice in this picture? What are we looking at in this picture? Neymar, what are we looking at? What's happening in the picture?
The cheetah catch the
It's called an antelope.
antelope.
Yeah, the cheetah is chasing the antelope. The thing with plants, they can't run, they can't move. We've talked about this before. Plants have to stay where they're at. They can't run away. But I have a video of a plant that has found a solution to not running away. And it's called the sensitive plant. Okay, so we have a sensitive plant here. What is happening in the video? Raise your hand if you know what's happening in the video. Cherry, what do you notice happening in the video?
The leaf is close together.
Yeah.
If the people touch it.
Yeah, if they touch it. Yeah, so the leaves get really close together if someone touches it. And this is actually in real time. This is not sped up. So let's watch a little bit more. This is happening in real time. Okay. Jenna. So in this video, we have a human touching the plant. If it was out in, if it was just in, what else would touch this plant in the forest? Do you think an animal or something would maybe touch it? So imagine this plant is being eaten. What do you think would happen to all the leaves on the plant if it was trying to be eaten? Do you think all the leaves would start closing, or would they all open?
Some leaf is closed and some leaf is open.
Yeah. So some leaves are open and some leaves are closed, but as an animal's trying to eat it, I'm sure all the leaves would close, so it can't be eaten. Let's watch one more and then we can move on. Okay, are they closing all at once or only one at a time? Are they closing all at once or one at a time? Lisa.
One at a time.
Yeah, they're closing one at a time. And this is how this plant adapted or defended itself in this situation. Okay, I'd like someone to read muscling in. Someone can read muscling in. Let's have Roberto.
Muscling in. Not all plants create their own food. Some of parasites living off the food of the plants, co-hosts, have made
This is called an epiphyte or epiphytes.
epiphytes
Yeah.
are not so mean. They use other plants but don't make their nutrients.
Thank you. So, what did we learn about parasitic plants? So we have some parasites that are plants, okay? What do they do? What do they do? David,
What?
what do parasitic plants do?
Epiphytes?
Yeah, no, so not all plants create their own food. Some are parasites living off the food of other plants. So what are the parasite plants doing? What are they doing?
They don't create their own food.
Yeah, they don't create their own food. So what are they doing to the other plants? What are they doing? Are they asking for
They are
it?
parasiting off the food of the
Yeah.
plant called host.
Yeah, they're stealing the food. They're parasites. They're just taking the food for themselves. Okay? And then this word. I know this word's hard, and this is in your book. This is straight from your book. You got epiphytes. Epiphytes. Okay? So they're not as mean. So they are not so mean compared to the parasite. So they use other plants, but don't take their food. Do not take their nutrients. What do you think they use these other plants for? What would you use a plant for if you were a plant? Courage. What would you maybe use a plant for that isn't food? Plant it? So, have you ever been in a crowd full of people? And have you ever been on your parents' shoulders? Have you ever been on your parents' shoulder?
Yes.
Yeah. So one thing I would like you guys to think about is when you're in a forest, where's the sunlight? Is it in the bottom of the forest or in the top of the forest?
On the top.
On the top. And a lot of plants are like, they look up. They don't really do this, but they look up and they're like, that's a really far way to go. So instead of getting there themselves, they climb up other plants so they can get to the sunlight themselves. Okay, let's have Lisa. Can you read branching out for us?
Branching out.
Mr. Mistletoe is a lazy plant. It has leaves that can make their own food, but it doesn't use them much. Instead, it sends roots down into its host branches and steals the sap.
Oh, this one's stealing the plant's food. Is this a, do you think this is a parasite? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, let's see if your class agrees. So everyone, do you guys think this mistletoe is a parasite? In 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes.
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 Okay. Yeah, so this one is a parasite because it's stealing nutrients. You can also tell it is far off the ground and can get its own sunlight. Okay. Now, one thing I would like you guys to notice is this tree has no leaves, which means it's either fall, it's either winter or very early spring. One of the problems with this plant is this plant will steal all the nutrients throughout the winter and sometimes will kill the tree because the tree runs out of food, which isn't good. Okay, let's read The Deadly Daughter. The Deadly Daughter. Let's have Neymar. Can you read this for me?
On the ground, daughter plant tendrils go hunting for food. They grab around the stem of other plant and suck the life out of them.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we have a hard word in here. What does this word mean? Tendrils. Tendrils. Can anyone figure out what it means from something else they know? Raise your hand if you know. I'm going to lower everyone's hand. Raise your hand if you know what that word means. Tendrils. David rose his hand.
So tendril means when the other plants steal the their the other's plant nutrient.
Yeah, so what in this picture looks like tendrils to you? What do you think the tendrils are?
Those tentacles are grabbing the leaves and they drink to their own plants.
Yeah. And I like the word you use the word tentacle. Right when I read the word tendril, I thought of tentacles. And when I see all these tentacle looking things, I figured out these are the tendrils. And yeah, look at them. They are sucking the life out of these plants. They're sucking the life out of these plants. So, what do you think they're stealing from the plant? Who thinks, what are they stealing from the plant? What does it mean to suck the life out of a plant? What do you think they're taking? David, what do you think they're taking? Oh, sorry, I just called on you. But David, what do you think they're taking?
They are taking the nutrients.
Yeah, they're taking the nutrients. And remember, these plants, they can't hold themselves up. So they're using the plant, they're sucking the life out of it. They're holding themselves up with it, and then they're going to keep on moving on. So we have one more. We have the big stinker. And this is one of the largest flowers in the world. Okay, let's have someone read about the big stinker. How about Harry? Let's read about the big stinker.
Largest flower is a parasite. Rafflesia is 1 meter wide and feeds off the rainforest vines. It attracts pollinators with its stinks of rotting leaves.
Ooh, yuck. Okay, so what is this plant? What is this plant? Roberto, what is this plant?
Can you say again?
Yeah, so what is this plant? We just read the big stinker. What type of plant is this?
Parasite.
Yeah, parasite. Exactly. Yeah, so this plant is a parasite. It told us right here. And what does it feed off of? What does it feed off of? Where does it get all of its nutrients and water? Where does it get all of its nutrients and water? Let's have Lily. Lily,
Yes.
where is this plant getting all of its water and nutrients?
Rainforest vines.
Yeah, it's taking them from the rainforest vines. Okay. So this flower has no roots. It has no body. It just steals stuff from rainforest vines and is a parasite. And what is this parasite trying to do? What is its main goal? What is the point of having a huge flower? Jenna, why does this parasite have such a big flower? What's this big flower trying to do? Okay, let's read the point. So after rainforest vines, can you read it for me?
Rainforest vine.
Mm-hmm.
It attacks pollinators
Yeah.
with its skin of
Rotting.
leaves.
Yeah. So it attracts pollinators. So it's a big flower trying to attract pollinators. What type of pollinators would be attracted to rotting meat? Does anyone know a pollinator that would be attracted to rotting meat? Anyone have a guess? Who likes rotting meat? Anyone here? Raise your hand if you have a guess. What pollinator is attracted to rotting meat? Yuck. Okay, I'm gonna call on Katie.
I think flies.
Yeah, flies. If you ever see meat out, you probably see a bunch of flies. So that's interesting. This flower doesn't attract things with like something sweet or a syrup or nectar. This one just smells so bad, everything thinks it's dead. And then it attracts flies. And then flies will fly from flower to flower, pollinating. And that's one thing you guys should notice. All these parasites, all of them. The mistletoe, the deadly daughter. All these plants are parasites, but they still need to do the same thing as other plants. They can still the water, they can still nutrients, but they still have to reproduce. They still have to be pollinated. Okay? So that's why even parasites have flowers. Okay, so that's it for today's class. But before I let you guys go, these are just a few plant adaptations to help them survive and reproduce. Remember, adaptations are to help them survive. And if they survive, they have a better chance to reproduce. Plants have so many unique ways they want to adapt to survive. So your homework is I would like you guys to research online a plant adaptation of your choosing or your choice, okay? So it could be any plant adaptation you find online. And then I would like you guys to tell me how does this help them survive and reproduce? And then at the beginning of next class, I'll have you guys share your screen and you guys can present your adaptation to the class. Okay, I just want to see what you guys come up with online. There's so many, okay? You can find plants in the desert, in snow, everywhere. Plants have tons of adaptations to survive, okay? And that is it for today, guys. So I'm gonna unmute everyone.
Goodbye, teacher.